Okay, I think we'll get started. I see some new customer faces, which is very exciting. And I just wanted to thank everyone for spending just a little bit of their evening with us tonight. We're really, really thrilled with the participation in our groups so far. This week, it's not even halfway through yet, and we've heard a lot of really great feedback from all of you. If you're beginning to feel changes already, awesome. But if you haven't quite noticed anything yet, or you even feel maybe just a little off, please, please stick with us. This week is all about showing you what Plexus can do for you in the long haul. Some bodies take longer times to adjust, sometimes most likely beyond that 7 days. But I can assure you that if you do choose to commit to this journey, you won't be disappointed. My name is Jessica Pierce. I am one of your 3 hosts of the call tonight. I'm an Emerald Ambassador. And when I first joined Plexus just over 2 years ago, I was a brand new mom. I knew that I had to improve my health, but I had to find a way to budget in for this expense. Before Plexus, that I had mentioned, that some of you have maybe heard this week, I was dependent on diet pop, energy drinks, antacids, sleeping aids, and laxatives just to get through one day. I really, besides all of that, I really just wanted to lose my baby weight when I joined Plexus because I didn't really understand that it was so much more. I had no idea that Plexus was really going to completely overhaul my health the way that it has. So pretty quickly, I realized that I wasn't needing the energy drinks and any of those over-the-counter meds that I had mentioned. And that's what I had usually survived off of. So that's when I realized that Plexus was actually saving me money in the long run because I didn't need those vices every day. And I was spending a lot of money just in Red Bull, for example. Red Bull and Diet Mountain Dew was just, I mean, I didn't even really drink water. So I really encourage you all to take a really hard look at your current expenses when you're trying to decide if you can fit this into your budget. See what Plexus can help you eliminate. Think of what you're drinking daily. Starbucks coffee, for example, is more, just one Starbucks coffee is more than the full triplex is going to cost you daily. Fast food, any of those over-the-counter medications that I mentioned for, antacids or sleeping aids or anti-inflammatories, things like that. Plexus could very well help you eliminate those and then end up helping you save money in the long run. So I chose the ambassador option, which is the wholesale option, simply because it was the cheapest price. I needed to save every penny possible, but I also wanted to try to get healthier and lose some weight, like I mentioned. I told my friend Christy, and we laugh about it now, I joined my friend Christy, and I told her when I signed up that there was absolutely no chance that I would be that girl posting on Facebook. I didn't want to annoy my friends. I didn't want to bother them. But within just a few days of trying these products, I began to realize that I had really found something very, very different. And thanks to Stephanie Shaughnessy, who's going to be speaking next on this call, and a few other friends, Christy I mentioned, and a few other friends ahead of them leading the way before me, that's when I saw that there was really true potential of earning a substantial income with this company. So I began feeling so good and seeing these improvements aside from the weight loss. The weight loss happened gradually. It was a slow process. Over that first year, I was able to drop all 60 pounds of my baby weight. But I will tell you, when I tell people my story now, I forget about that part of it because so many other things have really, truly changed and been impacted. So I began feeling those improvements, and I knew that I couldn't keep that a secret because what I had found was something that helped me, and I had so many friends that suffered from the same things. So I basically, just as you would your favorite restaurant, or, oops, sorry, hang on, let me mute everyone here. Bye. All right, every once in a while, someone just sneaks through there after I mute everyone. Sorry, you guys. So Where was I? I just like you would recommend your favorite restaurant if you had a really great experience, or vice versa. If you had a terrible experience, you're going to tell everyone about it, right? You got a really new, cute haircut, you're going to tell everyone who did it. So it really is something that naturally happens and evolves like that. I shared what was helping me and something that I was falling in love with and that was changing my life in so many great positive ways. I shared that with a few friends. And it literally just snowballed into a really surprising first paycheck that I didn't expect. Not only did that paycheck cover the cost of my products my very first month, but it also paid my car payment. And this was literally just because like I said, I was falling in love with something that was helping me so much, and I couldn't keep that a secret. I kind of wanted to shout it from the rooftops. Now it's about 27 months in, I think I've been on Plexus, and I've never paid for my products. My commission covers the cost of my entire family's products now. So when you guys are considering expense, you know, we understand that we have many of you that just want to try the products and just want to be a customer, and that's great. But this is a really extra bonus and really great added opportunity if you would like to even look at just getting your cost and your own expense of your products paid for, or if you want to see, you know, join us and have fun along the way with what we're doing and making a career out of this. Now, I told you 27 months I've been with Plexus, and it's become a really rewarding career. It's allowed me to be my own business owner, which I've always had big dreams to do. Within 13 months of me starting Plexus, I was able to quit my corporate job and to come home and raise my son. So he's just over 2 now, and I've been able to experience all of those little things that all of the moms before me told me, like, if you can do it and come home, do it, because they grow so fast and you're just going to miss all of those little moments that you can't get back, those years, you know? So 2 years in now, I was able to hit a very big life-changing promotion, and it's doubled my salary from the corporate world. I never in a million years would have imagined that was possible. It's given me a free Lexus and an annual trip to Hawaii, which I will tell you, that's not what I was working for, but it is a really great extra perk. This has very much blessed my family and just all kinds of amazing ways. So I tell you guys this simply because I share with my friends something that I love and I take every single day, where our whole family will be Plexus lifers. Even if we never got paid for it again, I've seen what it's done to so many people's lives that I would still share it every day. And it's incredibly rewarding to have a direct hand in helping like hundreds and hundreds of people now find hope and relief again from so many health issues that they really thought that they just had to live with for the rest of their lives. And it's humbling because it's just because I've shared my story to my friends, it's inspired them to take control of their own lives, and it's created a ripple effect of all of these new friends now that are pretty much like a second family to me, that are all seeing really, really incredible benefits financially and with their health. So, you know, I always encourage people, everyone, to at least try to take a chance or take a good hard look at this business opportunity at whatever capacity you choose, because I've seen what it can do to help ease financial burdens and allow people to live a life on their own terms. And whether you just love your products and you want to help cover the expense of that, or if you want to supplement your family's income with an extra $500, $1,000 a month, or if you're looking for a career change like I wanted to come home with my son, and I wanted to be my own boss and work from home, and whatever capacity, you know, whatever thing that might pique your interest, I can tell you Plexus is absolutely the answer. You know, let us know if you have any other questions. Any of us who speak tonight would be more than happy to share more of our story, answer any more questions that you might have. But I'll leave it at that. To wrap up my portion, I'm just going to give you guys the breakdown of all 3 ways that you can make your purchase after the 7 days, should you choose to continue. Each of the 3 options come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. I'm very, very proud of that, because I always tell people that if a company had a 60-day money-back guarantee on products that didn't work, they'd go broke. So we have like a 1% return rate, very high success rate of people seeing changes with these products. So your first of 3 options is retail. And retail is the most expensive. I really don't recommend it to anyone, because why pay top dollar for the exact same prices, exact same products that you could get at a cheaper price? It just doesn't make sense to me, but it's out there if you choose to. The next option is the preferred customer option, and it's about 15% off of the retail price. The preferred customer option comes with a monthly subscription option, and it's going to help you commit to your journey. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you understand how Plexus works. And I've talked about this in our group. These products are digging deep down into like the root of our health, and it's breaking down years of toxins and damage that has been done from all kind of external factors. And that takes time. That takes consistency, and it takes for you to trust the process and give yourself like a mental commitment of at least, I always recommend 90 days. You're not required after your first purchase to continue. It's completely up to you. And again, you're protected from that 60-day money-back guarantee. However, to mentally come into a new journey and give yourself time to really allow your body to adjust is really, really important. The end result is a functioning body that feels good all the time. And sometimes you don't realize how bad you feel until you start to feel really good. And you look back and you're like, wow, I feel a whole lot better. The last option then is the ambassador option, also known as wholesale. And that's how I joined. That's how your sponsor that you purchased the 7-day trial from joined. And what that means is for $34.95, you have access for an entire year to the cheapest wholesale costs. So think Sam's Club and Costco. You pay a membership, which it's more expensive there, right, than $34.95. And then you get to come and go with for that whole year of wholesale prices. These prices are about 20 to 25% off that first retail option. So remember, I said you're going to get the same products. If you're going to go for like a combo, then why not get the very cheapest price? If you ask me, that only makes sense. If you're ready to commit to this journey and a triplex, which is what we usually always recommend everyone starting out, or a combo of products, we've got a few different options of combos that you could get. This is definitely the best option. This wholesale ambassador choice is the best option for the best bang for your buck. And it also comes with the chance to earn cash back on your own purchases. So say you get the triplex and then you want to get another triplex for your spouse or your mom. And once you start to accumulate more money in your account, you're going to start getting paid a percentage back on that, which is really awesome to just get cash back, even if you're just buying stuff for your own family. Then the icing on the cake, of course, is that once you fall in love with these products like we all have, you have the option to share with your friends, and you start earning some really great commission just for referring them. Again, you don't have to have the big dream to quit your job and take it to the top, even though it's very, very possible for everyone. The playing field is completely leveled. Our comp plan is out of bounds. But you could just have the desire to, I love these products and I want to cover the expense of them. And so that's where your sponsor comes into play, and the team that you join. We would all help you get to whatever goal it is that you choose. You're never pressured, and we basically just let you choose where you want to take it, and we kind of help guide you there. So that's it for me. I'm going to pass this along to Stephanie Shaughnessy, who is one of my leaders and very, very inspirational, and I'm sure you're all going to love her story as well.
Thanks, Jess. Hi, everybody. Thanks for jumping on here tonight and listening to us. We love getting on here, and just like in these groups that we do, it gives us an opportunity to show you ourselves and say, hey, we're real people this opportunity is totally possible for anybody who wants to do it. Jess and I are so much alike, and I'm so grateful to have met her through this business, because like she said earlier, some of like my best friends now, I either reconnected with people I hadn't seen forever, or I've made some new relationships that they're like family to me. So when I started when I started Plexus, to be honest, I thought it was weight loss. I'm getting ahead of myself with my thoughts here. I honestly thought it was weight loss. I didn't know it was anything else. And I saw my girlfriend post about it on Facebook, and I reached out to her. Her and I had babies at the same time, 3 months apart. And it had been over a year since I had my son. So he was a little over a year old, but I was struggling still to lose the last 10, 15 pounds. I was exhausted, felt like a zombie. And I just kept telling myself, I guess this is what being a mom feels like. Like, I guess I'm just always going to be this tired. I was in law enforcement for 15 years prior to Plexus. I've never been in network marketing before. Another reason why, if you're listening and you've never done anything like this, you can 100% be successful in this, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm an introvert. I had no interest at all to do the business. I just did not see this for myself whatsoever. But kind of like what Jess said, I decided to sign up as an ambassador, because I knew I was going to commit to doing a couple of the products, over the course of the next couple months. I didn't start off with the triplex. They actually didn't even offer it when I started. And because I thought it was just weight loss, I started off with the pink drink and the accelerator. And I loved it. The first thing I noticed was that I just felt like I had more energy. And I was a sugar-free Red Bull junkie, just like Jess said. I would have one, sometimes two in the afternoon. And I'm a big Diet Coke drinker. I've never been much of a coffee drinker, but I definitely drank, my weight in Diet Coke and sugar-free Red Bull. So here I was with the Slim and Accelerator, felt like I had more energy. And I told my friend Lynn, who I joined under, I was like, wow, I really like this stuff. And she kept talking about the business to me, and I just didn't want any part of it. I just didn't see any part of it. I didn't have a negative opinion about network marketing. I've just never known anybody in it. I've never known anybody that's been successful in it. I've went to a few parties over the years that different friends have had, like with other older companies and stuff, but nobody ever approached me about doing a business like this. So I just didn't see it. And I was going to work. I was a detective when I got pregnant. When I went back after I had my son, I went back to patrol because I decided to go part-time, trying to work around my husband's schedule. That was really stressful. I was filling in for midnight shifts a lot. I'm shaking the pink drink at work, and people are like, what is that? So I had 3 or 4 people at work that wanted to try it. And I just told them to join how I joined, because I wasn't really educating myself in this. I didn't know anything about it. Lynn didn't really know anything about it. We just started with these 2 products and told everybody about them. We always joke that we were like the blind leading the blind in the beginning. So just like Jessica, I got my first paycheck, and it was just under $400. And my husband said, what are you doing? Like, what is this? And he's the one that really encouraged me. He said, if you're just messing around with this, why don't you give this 100% and see where this goes? So I called Lynn and I said, I think I want to do this business. Like, what exactly do I have to do? And I'll be honest, if she would have told me, you got to do parties, you got to keep inventory, you got to ask people to have parties for you and stuff like that, I would not have done this whatsoever. The notion of sharing this on Facebook didn't bother me a bit. I don't mind sharing something I love, and I've always done that anyhow. And I'm not one of those people that really cares, as long as somebody's not negative and ugly and nasty or, offensive on Facebook, I don't care if they share their business. I have plenty of friends that aren't in network marketing that either work for a salon. My brother-in-law owns his own painting business. I have a friend who owns a window tinting business. They use Facebook all the time to promote their business, So I saw this as no different, and really just sharing a product I love. I bought one of those electrical pressure cookers last year, and I made a post about it, and 5 of my friends bought one. And not long after that, I found this natural deodorant that I really loved, and I made a post about it, and 11 of my friends bought this deodorant. that's no different than what we do in Plexus, which is really why I love this company and the culture. Because if you were in another company, if you've dabbled in other companies or anything before, you should know that this company, the culture in this company is amazing, and their compensation plan is like nothing out there I've seen. Because when I decided to go all in with this, I knew I loved the products, I knew I loved the company, but I didn't know anything about the industry. And I really researched the industry, and this company's been around almost 10 years. And it's so important when you start with a company to make sure they've been in business at least 5 years, to make sure they're stable. They're independently owned, they're debt-free, they're a client of Morgan Stanley. They're very close to hitting the $1 billion mark. They've just exploded in the last 2 or 3 years since we've been in it. And if you can look at somebody like myself and Christy, who's not on, but she and I went to grade school together, and she joined me, and Christy introduced me to Jessica, and Jessica joined Christy, and I joined under Lynn. The 4 of us are all moms who have never been network marketers, who just simply shared something that we loved, and we wanted to stay home with our kids. And all 4 of us in the last 3.5 years have quit our jobs. Lynn was a realtor. I was a detective. Christy worked in a PR marketing position in the healthcare system up there in Detroit. And Jess had a nonprofit job. I mean, it was just, you know, if this company and the opportunity wasn't amazing, we wouldn't be here. So that's kind of how I got into it, with no intentions of doing this, but I loved it. Were you going to say something, Jess?
Rebecca's on the call too. She's a retired kindergarten teacher who's
okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. I didn't see her on my screen. I just scrolled. Hey, Rebecca.
So she's a retired school teacher she'll share her story too. She's hosting with us.
Yes. Yeah.
She has been able to come home because thanks to Plexus too. With her
awesome. One last thing I'll say real quick about the products. I talk to everybody about the business now, because the business in about 4 months, I make what I made annually as a cop, and I'm home all the time with my son now. It's changed everything for us. So I lead with the business. When somebody talks to me about Plexus, the first thing I say is the business, because it's been huge. I was hospitalized for GI issues in 2009 in Mayo Clinic here in Jacksonville. I'm from Detroit originally, but I followed my parents down to Florida when I was 20. And I went to the police academy when I was 21, and I suppressed a lot of stress and was really sick, and I was in the hospital for 4 days and had to follow up with a GI specialist for a year. And I already knew I loved the Slim and Accelerator, but when I decided to go into this business, I bought some other products. I tried the ProBio 5, the Bio Cleanse, which comes that's the triplex with the pink drink, and the multivitamin. And I was just, like within 2 weeks, I told my husband, I said, this stuff's amazing. I mean, I felt like I lost 2 inches around my waist because I always bloated. I was always uncomfortable. I was diagnosed with ulcers, diverticulitis, and IBS ultimately. So I just was one of those people. I thought I always, I have a sensitive stomach. I just can't eat what I want. I got sick a lot. I felt sick a lot, and I just was very uncomfortable, and it was horrible. But I thought that was me. I didn't think there was anything I would be able to do about that, because I got sick in 2009 when I was hospitalized. I didn't find Plexus till 2014. I've tried every probiotic under the sun. When people ask me about the price of these products, I'm like, this stuff isn't expensive. Trust me. I think we're up to 17 products now. The majority of them are under $40. So the only time you'll spend $100 or more is if you buy a combo or a trio of products. But our probiotic, the Ambassador, costs $25. For a customer, it's $29. I spent over $40 or $50 on probiotics before. Our weight loss stuff is $25, $29. The vitamins just over $30. This stuff is not expensive. I've went into a GNC or a vitamin shop many times and bought a fat burner or some crap for $60 in a bottle that hurt my stomach and did nothing for me. So that's exactly how I talk to people when I talk to them about the prices of our products. It is like nothing out there. And as far as if you're interested in the business, I don't know whether any other network marketing company out there you can join for $35 and then you buy products for yourself. It's not like you buy some expensive, huge startup kit, $5,000 worth of product that you have to sell, and you got to start calling people to have parties and all this stuff. Plexus is like nothing else out there. And I thank God that this was the company that I stumbled into. Every day I say that. So If you guys have any questions, I'll hang in there. And Rebecca, you can go ahead.
That was awesome. I love listening to both of you. So like Jess already mentioned, I'm Rebecca. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm an Emerald Ambassador as well. I was a kindergarten teacher for 6 years, very shy, introverted. I love listening. I love people, but put me in front of kids, and that was my thing. So when I started Plexus, actually, my husband was a student at Full Sail in Orlando, and I had taken extended maternity leave from my teaching job. I actually called my principal the night before and said, crying, I said, I'm not coming back tomorrow. I cannot leave my daughter. And she said, Rebecca, I knew this would happen. I already have your sub lined up. Like, you stay home and take care of your baby. And I Googled every work from home opportunity because my husband was in school. He was a student. When you're on maternity leave as a teacher, you don't get paid. So we didn't have a lot of money coming in. So we, cut out cable, we sold his car, we did everything we could to make it work because we knew that's where I needed to be. But being home also came with, I was eating all day long. I was exhausted. I just felt miserable when Ryan would come home. I was like, okay, you have to take the baby. Like, I need some time. Like, I need to be in bed by 8:30. It was just, I felt like there needed to be a change. And that's when I saw my friend Lynn as well, like Stephanie was talking about. She was posting on Facebook, and I knew I wanted to try this stuff, but our finances, it was tight. I already told you guys that. And I knew at night when I would lay down, that's the one thing that I thought about was, will we have enough money to do what we want? Will we be able to give Clara the things that she wants? How can I fit this into my budget? Even if it is just, $100, like that was huge for us. But I was also at the same time, the same mom that would go down to Target and buy everything that I didn't need when I didn't have money for things. So, I had to kind of step back and realize we spent our money on what was important to us. So I had that mindset, and I said, I'm gonna do these products. I need a change in my life. And I ordered the products. I did not tell my husband because I didn't want to hear his objection. I just said, I'm going to do it. And when they showed up, and I'm not recommending that for anyone, I'm just saying that's what I did. My husband was like, if this is what you want to do, I support you, go for it, but you're going to go all in. You're going to take these products. You're going to be consistent if you spend our money on this. I said, okay, I will. And, I started on the triplex, which is what we've been talking about in our groups this week. And within the first few weeks, I felt different. The sweets were still in the pantry. I was staying up past 9 o'clock. I was sleeping better. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to ever go without these products, but I can't see myself justifying spending the money if I'm not working. And that's when Lynn, my friend, she said, Rebecca, you love these products. You love Facebook. You're on there all day. Why don't you start sharing? And she shared with me how to make enough to get your products paid for is our first promotion with Plexus. And it's just getting 3 people, so 3 friends. So I grabbed my sister-in-law, my cousin, and one of my coworkers. And I said, there were 3 people, they trusted me. I could share with them. I said, I don't know a lot about this. I've only been on it a little while, but I want you to do this with me, and I want you to try it with me. And they said, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, okay. I didn't think anyone would, but they could see that I was happy, and they trusted me. They knew I wasn't going to, I was breastfeeding Clara at the time. They knew I wasn't going to get into something shady. So they trusted me, and they did it. And when you get 3 people, Plexus calls it going silver. You may have seen some announcements with that. And that's $100 bonus. So for me, I was like, $100, I needed that. And for each friend that you sign up with you as an ambassador, even if they don't want to, work the business, like we've already mentioned, they can sign up and just get their products, like a Sam's or Costco membership. You still get paid for them. And they still get the best price possible, and they get their products. So it's really a win-win. So when you sign those up, you get paid a building bonus, and those are paid out weekly. So if you signed up, and Lynn told me this, she said, Rebecca, if you start signing people today, you can get paid next week. So coming from someone who was on maternity leave, my husband was a student, that was huge for us. And that was the way I was able to continue on these products. By going silver is what we call it, by getting 3 friends or family members to join you as an ambassador, have them purchase what we call a welcome pack. And all a welcome pack is it's your one-time option to get these products below the wholesale cost. So even cheaper than you usually purchase as an ambassador. Plexus discounts those even further. So it's really a win-win. They get the best products, like I was saying, and then you get paid a building bonus on those welcome packs. So if you're thinking about signing up this week and you're like, I'm loving the pink drink, I'm loving hearing about all this, other products, I tell everyone, if you're gonna get a combo and you're gonna get 2 or 3 products, do ambassador. I wanted nothing to do with the business when I first signed up, but I kind of just fell into it because I knew that was a way for me to get my products paid for. And like Jessica said, I haven't paid for my products since then, and it's now been able to surpass my teaching income. This little introverted, very country girl from a small town has shared on Facebook, and I love helping people, and that has been what's able to keep me home with my kiddos. I have a 4-month-old now and a 2-year-old, and my husband, we're not that struggling financially like we were when I first started these products. And there are so many on our team that have the same story. So even if you're like, I still don't want the business, still do ambassador if you want to get that best price and you want to try, the triplex and you want to try the combo. I promise Plexus is not saying, oh, you have to do this and you have to meet this quota and keep this inventory. I'm a busy mom. There's no way I would be able to have a business if I had to do that. You send your friends your website. Plexus takes care of the payment. They do the shipping. They take care of the returns. You're just simply the messenger of Plexus. You share products. You share your love for it. I help my, customers and ambassadors make sure they love their products, and Plexus takes care of the rest. And that, for me as a busy mom, was huge. So that's why I chose ambassador. That's why I share, with everybody. If you're interested in the business and you want to work this, we will run with you. If you just want to make enough to get your product costs covered, we will help you with that. Or if you just want to simply sign up and order your products every month, we will love you there too. So it's really a great option. If you're not looking for a complete combo, we do have the customer option, and you can still, start out with what fits your budget. But like Steph said, these products are not expensive, especially when you're like me, the mom running to Target and buying stuff anyhow. Even when I don't have money, I always have money for Target. But they're not, it's totally worth it. So that's what I would share with you all. If you want to know cost on specific products, we have 17, 18 different products. Get with a person who invited you to the group, and they can give you specifics on the different pricing, because we'd be here all night if I went down all 17 pricing and pricing options. So get back with them, and they will help customize and give you recommendations for the products to meet your health goals and for your budget. But just know we love, being ambassadors. You're not locked into anything. It's truly a win-win. And it's unlike any other company out there when it comes to being that ambassador option. So that's what I wanted to share with you all. And we also had said there would be some winners for tuning in tonight. So we appreciate you all for sticking with us. And we have 2 winners, and you will win free shipping on any order that you place from now through the end of our trial group. So you'll get free shipping. Once you place your order, we'll give you that shipping cost back to you. So we have 2 winners, and I hope I don't mess up these names. Andrea Vitale, I hope I'm saying that right, but congrats, Andrea. I see you're smiling. And then Natasha Combs. So thanks, Natasha. Yeah, I see you're waving. Thank you both for tuning in. So you guys both get free shipping, and thank you everyone else for tuned in tonight. Hopefully this, you learned some things and you feel more comfortable now with jumping in with us with Plexus. I can't wait to hear all of your testimonies in our next group. But thanks again, and enjoy your Wednesday evening, and we will see you all in the challenge groups. Bye.